this all starts out on June of 2014. So in June 2014, he left a comment on a video called Son of an Area 51 Technician, stating, now this is a quote from him, "That ain't nothing. I'm a long-distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M." He goes on to say, "I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me." So the M-shaped cave that Kenny was referring to in this YouTube comment was what he estimated around 7 miles from Nellis Air Force Base in the Sheep Mountains. So Joe, if you're watching this, Joe's got Google Earth up here, and he's kind of showing you kind of...
Yeah, here's Sheep Peak right here.
Yeah, it's a very rugged, dry, mountainous desert region of Nevada.
Very deserty desert reason.
So
I'll zoom out so you can kind of see, like, there's Vegas right here.
Yeah.
So it's not too far outside of the city, but I mean, you can walk on the strip in Vegas and be exhausted in the city. So this is far enough where it doesn't matter.
So the unique part about this area where Kenny was hiking was it's full of old mine shafts that the military had used to dispose of chemicals, and it's very isolated and tough to get. Are you
serious? They used to just like dump stuff down mine shafts.
Oh yeah. That's why you got.
So he thought he was vibrating, and he was just like inhaling toxic fumes.
Probably, yeah.
Jeez.
He claims that it took him around 10 hours of hiking to reach the area of the M Cave and then to return to his car. This is also a well-known place for drug addicts and dealers who had taken up residence in the area, and it's even been known for dumping ground for murder victims' bodies. So.
That I definitely believe.
Not a great area to be hiking around, especially by yourself. So many fellow YouTubers, YouTube posters were skeptical, and some commented that he was, BSing about the experience in the M Cave discovery. Others dared him to go back and get more footage, and he responded with a follow-up hike to the same area in the Sheep Mountains. One poster who went by the username Lemmy Killmister warned Kenny not to return, that you won't get out. So people don't know. People have speculated, did this poster know anything? Was he trolling? My guess is it was a troll.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's the internet. So October 18th, despite the warning that he got in the comments, he returned again to the desert, but this time with his Ruger 9mm gun, and he posted a YouTube video of his hike trying to find the M Cave. So Joe is going to pull this up and make sure to put the audio up.
Good point.
There we go.
Forget that the one time. Here we go.
We'll just watch a few minutes of this.
Well, here I am on my hike up here in the mountains north of Las Vegas. This is a canyon I just walked up in. Now you can't tell, but my truck is way out there by the mountains at the very, very end of this valley. It's kind of like a big canyon. On the other side of these mountains, I'll show you in a second, is the bombing range, the Nellis Air Force bombing range. They do a lot of practice stuff out there. This is an old mine, and there's a hole here that just goes way down. I'll show you that. And then
look at that ladder.
The last time I came up here, I hiked up to the top of what they call Gas Peak, and I spent the night. It was a 2-day hike, and then I hiked all the way down to another valley over here and went past this mountain range you see on my right, all the way back out to the flat desert. Now, the camera doesn't pick this up very well, but it's a long way. And I just romp around out here, do some solo hikes, and have some fun. My mission today is to just do a 1-day hike. It's about a 10-hour hike. I got to still go over another ridge and then go all the way down a big crevice that's real narrow and gets kind of scary. I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before, and something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday. And I talked to some people on YouTube, and I told them, hey, I'm coming out here, you know, because they kind of called my hand on it. So I don't know if there's gonna be anything to it, but it might be interesting.
I'm gonna jump to this spot. It says,
if
look
I
at
can
this.
find it,
I didn't know they had this. This is the most
This is a
replayed
big
area.
mountain range.
I'm gonna jump here.
And
This thing's 20 minutes long. We'll link it. So if you want to watch the whole thing,
Yeah.
Shaped like it's shaped.
Oh, is that
just
it?
like
Is
the
that
letter
it?
M.
I don't think so.
So.
oh, that looks like
Lots
it.
of little caves and stuff along here, and it's about level with the ground. Like,
He never found it again.
Like an area like this. So I really got to keep my eyes peeled because I don't want to pass it.
That one looked like an M.
Yeah, I mean, too small to get in.
Caves
Yeah,
like that, you know.
He wasn't vibrating, so it wasn't the right one.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Looks like something in there.
Yeah, it does. It looked like there was like
I'm
a
not
guy
going
in
up
there.
And there's caves. There's actually caves all over the place up here. It's a really cool place. If you want to come spelunking, this is the place to come spelunking, man.
That's wild. All right, I'll pause it. We'll link this in the video if you want to see what he looks like. He looks more normal than I would have guessed.
Yeah, no, he looks like a super normal guy. He's just like super into like backcountry solo hiking, like minimalist, doesn't bring really anything with him. And I don't know if you have Gas Peak pulled up.
Let's see here. That's what he was pointing at that. I'll look it up because I can search in here while you keep talking.
Yeah, so like you said, that was a video of his around the second time he went out looking
Gas,
for
G-A-S?
I believe, let's see here. It was called Gas Peak, G-A-S-S, yeah.
Right.
So he did talk back and forth with a lot of people on YouTube, and you can go back and see a lot of his posts. They're all still out there. His channel is still live on YouTube, and Joe's pulling up Gas Peak right now. This is kind of where he was. He was obviously north of that a bit, but he was talking about that was the direction he came from, I believe. Or he slept
there's
up there.
Gas Peak Trail.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was almost, you know what it looked like? Because he's pointing to like the left and the right. It's almost like he was like in here.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he talked about like being on this side, and he was like in the valley.
It's tough because this area, it's not like a national park where there's defined trails. It's very remote, and he most of the time hiked off the grid, basically. He didn't hike on known roads or anything like that. He would just go up over a mountain.
Yeah.
So in another comment he posted around this time of October 18th of 2014, he wrote, "Maybe it's just strange-looking cave that has a mountain lion living in it. It should be some time this week. I will have my 9mm with me this time, just in case. Last time I was unarmed. It's a 10-hour hike, no trails, very dangerous terrain." He goes on to say, "The mountain is located right next to the bombing range. I have found some giant empty rounds of ammo before. I have just been waiting for the Vegas weather to cool down. It's not the kind of hike one would do in the summer."
Sounds like he was an area he shouldn't have been in.
Well, he also, so it goes on, he parked his vehicle in the Joe May Canyon area and probably headed to areas like Corkscrew Canyon and the valley around Gas Peak. Though this time he was unsuccessful in locating it. This resulted in even more negative comments on YouTube that he was a liar and that the cave never existed in the first place. So a theme throughout all this is he breaks the golden rule of, content creators is don't read the comments, don't go on Twitter.
Or don't engage.
Don't engage because we get negative stuff on YouTube, and early on I used to engage, and now I just ignore.
Yeah.
I still want to engage.
I know. I know. I'm always telling you, like, they said this, we got to address them. Like, we're not going to address it. Don't address it. Don't give them any fuel.
So, he goes on he commented on YouTube after the second hike. He wrote, "I got back from a 10-hour hike yesterday. I completely searched the whole darn canyon. I could not relocate the cave. I found a tarantula, a tortoise, and a ram, but I could not find the cave. I don't know if you've ever climbed up and down a mountain for 10 hours, but it wore me out. All I got out of it were some nice photos and a big bag full of pinion nuts. This is the perfect time of year to find pinion nuts. Thanks for asking." He also responded to some more negative comments. He said, "I have a video of the hike if you'd like to see it. I hike completely around a large mountain. Do you even have a clue what it's like? There are hundreds of caves up and down the canyons I was in. I overestimated my ability to find the one I was looking for. It's rare for me to take the same hike twice. I don't use trails, and I cover extremely long distances. If you think you could do better, go for it. I have to warn you, though, it's brutal on the feet. I often will lose 1 or 2 toenails after one of my longer hikes. That's happened to me before.
Yeah.
The nails take such a punishment that they turn black and fall off. If you've never hiked solo for 15 miles in a mountainous region and then climbed to the top of a mountain you've never seen before, spent the night on the peak and climbed down the next morning and then climbed another tall mountain the next day and spent the night again, then hiked 15, 20 miles all the way back to your vehicle the following day, worn out with little to no water left, carrying a heavier pack than you left and barely having enough strength left to climb your stairs when you get home, and slid into a hot tub of water to rejuvenate yourself. You have no room to speak.
Oh, he was getting really hurt. I heard about the words.
Yeah. So, and he's not even done here. So yes,
God.
he goes on finally here. Yes, this is what I do for fun. No, I didn't find the damn cave. I'm only a little disappointed. I can always go back and try again. I guess I need to start posting the videos of my hikes and of me catching rattlesnakes and critters. Then people like you would stop doubting me. So I started reading a bunch of quotes, but this really does help kind of set the tone for the hikes he's been on. So, after he's going back and forth with, people doubting him, Kenny told the YouTubers he was going on a third trip to the area to find the M Cave, and he invited others to join him, but no one offered to accompany him. He wrote, I'm going again this weekend. I'll be hiking solo for 3 days. I plan on covering about 40 miles. I will cross through the same canyon where I found the cave. If I don't find it again, I will just continue hiking over the mountain. I'll continue hiking over mountain after mountain to the north of the canyon. I dare any of the people that like to run their miles on here to join me. My hikes are brutal on the body, and one of my long hikes, some of my toenails turn black and fall off. I lose about 13 pounds of body weight. It takes me about 3 days to recover from the abuse I put myself through, but I love every minute of it. There's no guarantee that I'll find the cave. The region that I cover is vast. There are many caves. I've been in hundreds of them. The M Cave is the only cave I ever feared going inside. I really want to find it again. So that sets up. And Joe on the screen, I'll get to that quote.
I'm not showing it right now. I'm reading it, but yeah.
I don't know that I'll read all of it. I have it in our notes.
Yeah, it's long.
It's long. So let's fast forward to November 10th,
That's
2014.
what's crazy about this video. Like, was his business probably trying to do something like this? It has 2.7 million views on this one video.
Well, it got a lot bigger, sadly, once he went
That's
missing.
what I'm kind of getting at. Is nobody probably watched it until he's probably trying to build that audience, and unfortunately, him missing is what he's got 53,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
60,000 likes, 2.7 million views. He could have started making money, but he only got big because he got lost.
Back in 2014, the making money on YouTube wasn't as developed as it is now. Mm-hmm. So I feel bad that he wasn't able to, monetize some of this. But
yeah, he was early content creator.
Yeah. So November 10th, 2014, Kenny told his girlfriend Sharon Pilgrim that he was leaving to find the cave on a solo hike. He told his family he was going to hike the mountains and planned to return 2 days later. This would be the last time anyone would see or hear from Kenny. So around November 14th, 2014, when he didn't return home, his girlfriend Sharon contacted the Las Vegas police. Unfortunately, a search and rescue effort didn't kick off for about another week. They waited for signs from Kenny, and I'm guessing they did this just because the nature of how he hiked. He would kind of go off grid and, do his own thing and then, come back out. So around roughly, I didn't get a specific date for this, but around the 22nd time frame of November is when the search effort really kicked off. Large search parties were formed, helicopters were deployed, and the Nevada Red Rocks search and rescue team were looking for Kenny. Dozens of SAR personnel were combing the mountains, and air and ground searchers had, searched for several days but didn't find any clues. Then, like I said, on November 22nd, they found his cell phone. So they actually found his cell phone in front of that same mine shaft
I just threw it up.
Was in the video, yeah.
That one he was filming at is where they found it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So the cell phone was located on November 22nd. They found it resting on the ground outside of an entrance to a mine.
This is the local Channel 3, KSNV My News 3 in Las Vegas story we have up on the screen. It came out on Saturday, November 22nd, so it was the day they discovered it. They wrote the story.
Yeah, so Red Rock Search and Rescue Commander Dave Cummings told News 3 Las Vegas, this is his quote, "We found a cell phone close to a very vertical old mine shaft, and we can't find another trail. It doesn't mean that he's down the mine shaft, but we have tracked him as far as we can. We are having our other crews come in from the search areas." This led many to believe that he had probably fallen into the deep mine shaft and died from the fall, but when cameras were sent down to investigate, there was no sign of a dead body or that the pit had even been disturbed. So he wasn't in that mine shaft.
Weird. So he left his cell phone and maybe forgot it there or something?
Yeah, well, we'll get into theories why that he might have done that.
Okay. I always get ahead of myself.
You do. So yeah, like I said, no body, no clues, no other belongings have ever been found throughout the region. A lot of people felt like it was like he just vanished off the face of the earth. And we've had this theme in other cases where it seems like they just disappeared like poof into thin air. But
yep.
So just some notes I had on this case, things I found strange. One of the things that was kind of strange about this day that he went missing was he decided to do another day hike without overnight camping equipment, which his hikes in there are always like 10-hour hikes. So usually always overnight camps. So he did not bring that gear with him. But a lot of people have said he has been known to be a reckless desert hiker. So that's not entirely out of character for him.
Mm-hmm.
But a 10-hour hike would not leave him much daylight once he got to that area. So it was still a little strange. He also left his video camera behind, which he used for his previous M Cave video that we were watching. So,